What's up, YouTube? Mentored one here. Gonna talk a little bit about philosophy today. Something I love, something I think a lot of people need to do more of. Doesn't have to be the dry academic philosophy that I think most people associate it with, nerds in suits and long dissertations. What I'm talking about is more of a street philosophy, what I think more you saw with the beginnings of philosophy. People were just trying to think and reason and figure out the world around them, trying to make sense of it all. I'm going to range anywhere from religion to politics to philosophical problems to issues with science and technology, whatever comes up, whatever decide to talk about. If you got any ideas, drop me a line. I'll have a little discussion about it. Today I want to talk about something I find very captivating. It's called Solipsism. It's a concept that your own conscious experience is the only one that can be known, therefore the only one that can be known to exist. In other words, you're all figments of my imagination. And this is intriguing because it can't really be disproved. There's no evidence to say that it's 100% true, and we'll get into that there. Why it can't be disproved. I don't have access to your thoughts, your memories, your senses, your experience, anything about you other than what I see, what I hear, what you tell me. So I have more of a representation of you than knowing for certain that you have the same conscious experience that I do. So it can't really, there's no way to access somebody else's conscious life. There's no way to access any of it. You just have to go by what you receive from external input. Now, that presents a problem for proving or disproving because you can't access somebody else's experience, so you can't disprove that they're not there, that they're not real. At the same time, you can't access them to prove that they are. So it's one of those, philosophical hazy lands. You have no answer for this, which is why it's very intriguing. It's the whole old conundrum: am I awake? Am I asleep? Can you tell the difference between reality and a dream? If you remember a dream in great detail, how does it differ from a memory? This brings into question about reality and what's real. That's why it's really intriguing to me. And you start to think about, well, what do I know for certain? Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. The fact that you are conscious at all is enough. That's the only thing you can be certain of. I exist in some way, shape, or form. There is existence. There is consciousness. However, what does that mean for everybody else? Are you all just illusions? Are you all ghosts, phantoms of my mind? No way to answer that question. So then you have to bring in the optimist pessimist view. You a glass half full, glass half empty. Glass half full says no way to prove it, doesn't mean there's not. So we should accept that everybody is as conscious and alive as I am. That's cool. The pessimist view, the glass half empty, is I'm the only existence that there is because it's the only one that can be experienced. Now this is troubling because for instance, if I am the only existence, the only conscious experience, does that equate someone's consciousness to God? Is that each individual person is a God unto themselves, is the universe unto themselves? So if I'm all that there is, or you're all that there is, when you or I die, if there is no afterlife, we're not getting into that here, but does that mean everything shuts off? No universe, no nothing, just poof, gone. Now, everybody else might continue on, but for that person, there is no more existence. And if that person no longer is conscious or experiencing anything, how can this be said to be anything? Because from your own perspective, you have only your own perspective to go on. You can't draw from anybody else's. So when that ends, what happens? I may have heard the saying, perception is reality. If I don't perceive it in some way, shape, or form, then it's not real. If somebody's kid gets an A on their math test, I don't see the test, I don't hear anything about it, so in my existence it doesn't happen. And if it doesn't happen in my existence and I go to the grave never experiencing it, can it be said to be real? Can it be said to exist at all? I mean, what is this notion of each one of us being an island of perception, that we only have our collected perceptions to draw on as reality, and beyond that, what do you have? I don't know. I wish I had an answer to that. It's one of the reasons why we're doing these discussions. If you guys have any input on this, go ahead. There's a book called The View from Nowhere. I think it's written by a guy named Tom Nagel. It's the same thing as he talks about we have a view from nowhere. We can't really anchor ourselves anywhere because our own experience is limited to an island. It's just us. It's just whatever is in there. Watching the watcher, they call it, trying to figure out what's supporting the consciousness. Is it God? Is it just electrical signals in your brain? From the Matrix, you might have said that when Morpheus questions Neo and talking about, pain and sensations are just electrical signals interpreted by the brain. Is that all conscious experiences, electrical signals? It's a materialistic view. I'm not, judging it morally or anything, but leaves a lot to be desired because, quantified electrical signals don't really explain the quality of experience, like I can, electrical signals will explain why I see green the way I see green, how my eyes will send the signal to my brain that yes, that over there is green. But what if you like green? What if it's, something that appeals to you, makes you feel warm and fuzzy? That's kind of hard to quantify. I guess they could find a link and say, this chemical here, that electrical signal there, all adds up to this experience. But if all we are electrical signals, when the battery runs out of juice, that's it, guys. And what happens then? The universe ends? Who knows? Maybe that's why people are afraid of death so much. Maybe because we know, as Solipsism says, it's the only existence is our own. There is no way to know anything else. So when it ends, do we die in that loneliness? Do we all live alone? These are all tough questions, but I encourage you to answer them. And hopefully we'll be back soon with another little philosophical chat here. Take care, guys.